What's up, YouTube? Vegas Sense or Jamar, Jamar from Vegas Sense again here today with y'all. And today I'm gonna go over. I would have to say it is one of my favorite fragrances that I own right now. It's gonna be by the house of Rasasi, and that is Rasasi Hawas. Okay. And this is Hawas for him. So they do make a Hawas for him and for her. I haven't smelled the for her version, but this smells amazing. So here's a quick little rundown of what the box looks like. It's just basically like a black kind of smooth touch box, and it kind of has like this little snake skin design around like the Hawas logo. I guess the best way to kind of describe it is, yeah, it kind of feels like snake skin. Then on the back here, you have Rasasi and all the different ingredients or whatnot on the back of the box. You've got like your barcode and batch number and stuff like that, and when it was made on the bottom. So this one was made in January of this year. So it's a pretty fresh batch, fresh bottle. And surprisingly, I haven't really used this a whole lot. I actually got this, I want to say, maybe around like May, June-ish, something like that. So it was right around the time where it was, really starting to get hot. And I definitely, I wore it a few times just out, wore it a few times to work, but I haven't really worn it on like an everyday basis. And I'm really surprised because when I smell this fragrance, every time I smell it, it's just, man, I really, really enjoy this particular fragrance. The reason why I enjoy it is because it's a bunch of different things all in one fragrance. So it has like this obvious kind of aquatic, watery type smell to it. It has a really good sweetness to it as well, and so that's why a lot of people compare this one to Invictus Aqua, because it definitely smells a lot similar to Invictus Aqua. I would say the only difference is this one has spices in it. So on the top notes in this one, you have a spice like cinnamon, which gives it a little bit, of an extra bite, to the smell. And then also in the mid, you have cardamom in this one as well. So those two together, they give the fragrance, a nice spiciness, a nice little bite to it. And just to kind of go over the different notes that are in this particular fragrance, on the top notes you have bergamot, apple, lemon, and cinnamon, as I mentioned. Then in the mids you have orange blossom, you have watery notes, cardamom, and plum, which plum, I feel like, you can never go wrong with plum or apple really in a fragrance. And then in the base notes you have ambergris, patchouli, driftwood, and musk. And you definitely you get a lot of the or a lot of the musk. I said must. You get a lot of the musk in this fragrance as well. And I kind of feel like you can kind of smell that even just off of the, just smelling it off of the cap or whatnot. You really do smell that. Other thing here with this fragrance is I feel like it's light enough to be a warm weather, like summer fragrance, but then also it's heavy enough as well to still be something that I think you could kind of wear all year round, like even in the cooler months. I would say if you are gonna wear it in the cooler months, obviously it would more so be like an office fragrance or something like that, something in like a climate controlled environment. But yeah, this to me is versatile enough to be worn really in any occasion, at any time. It doesn't really matter. Um, Again, another high mark on this particular fragrance is the performance. Typically, when I wear this fragrance, I'll spray it on in the morning, as I'm going out the door to go to work, or, if it's just, a regular day, I'll spray it on at some point in time during the day. And this always is still on me at the end of the day. Um, I would say after maybe 5 to 6 hours or so, it does kind of tone down a little bit and start to become a skin scent. But anything that's still going to be on my skin after 8 to 9 hours or so, I feel like it's a really great fragrance. So typically with me, I normally get around, I would say, at least 10 hours or so with this particular fragrance, 10 hours or more. Just depending on what situation I'm wearing it in, how hot it is, what I'm doing. That kind of determines exactly how long this lasts. But I remember wearing this, out on the strip, just hanging with my cousin several months ago, and I sprayed this on in the morning, maybe about 9 a.m. or so, and I could still smell it on me at about, I don't know what time was it, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock or so. So again, this is really, really, really good stuff. Sillage on this is really good. It projects heavy. At least I would say for like the first hour and a half to 2 hours or so. And it'll fill up a room. So you do kind of have to be careful with this, because even though it is like a light aquatic type scent, again, it is still something that's heavy enough for you to be able to wear in like the cooler months. So typically from what I've seen is, if I put more than 4 sprays of this on, it's too much. It's too much. If you get in the car, you definitely got to roll down the windows if you spray more than 4 sprays of this on. So typically, like the sweet spot, I would say is like around 3 to 4 sprays. I typically do, 2 to the neck, 1 to the chest, and then like maybe 1 on my shirt, or maybe 2 to the neck, 1 to the chest, 1 to the back of the head, something like that. So, again, this stuff, as far as versatility goes, there's not too many other fragrances that, beat it in that particular department when it comes to versatility. I would say probably the only fragrance that is any more, versatile than this particular fragrance is, at least that I've smelled or that I own, would be like a Creed Ventus type fragrance, or like a Dior Sauvage. I feel like Dior Sauvage, you can wear that like whenever. I don't think there's any situation that you couldn't wear Dior Sauvage. I think the only bad mark that you can really give Dior Sauvage is everybody has Dior Sauvage. Like if you go out walking on the strip, you will walk past hundreds of people that smell like either Dior Sauvage or Versace Dylan Blue. You smell it all the time. But this is definitely something that is, very unique. Even though, it gets compared to Invictus and Invictus Aqua, it's still in its own right. It's able to kind of separate itself from those fragrances with things like the spices that it has in it. And just because of the versatility. So I was able to pick this particular bottle up. This is a 100 milliliter bottle. I bought it brand new in the box for about $57 on eBay. The price on this particular fragrance seems to kind of go up and down. So before I purchased this particular fragrance, I had heard about it, but I was mainly seeing it on eBay for about $80 to $90. And at least for me, I really don't like spending a lot of money on fragrances. This, just by itself, I would say is the most expensive fragrance that I've ever bought. I have spent more than $57 on fragrances, and that was, a purchase that I made from AlexandriaFragrances.com, where I actually purchased 3 fragrances for about $100. But again, that was 3 fragrances, and they were, that was 3 fragrances. So this on its own is the most expensive fragrance that I've bought, and again, I said I only paid $57 for it. So I would definitely look around for this one to see what type of deal you can get on it. But I would say that for $80 to $90, it is worth the price. For the versatility, the performance, just the overall smell in general, it's definitely worth the money. I would say that for sure. But if you can get it for cheaper, why not? Okay? So that's my take on Rasasi Hawas. And I'll see y'all again in the next video.